and shit. But okay, some things we just got done eating right. Don't worry about it.
No, just you too far in now.
This and some food, I'ma still eat it. So if you get nominated, my food I'ma eat.
It's like dressing.
You know, Angela Yee is an all-time great Fantastic Voyage journey taker. She has been with men and has never been publicly known to be in a really serious relationship where someone was considering wifing her up or anything like that. And if it was someone that we don't know about. And now that she's left the Breakfast Club, which I think is great for Envy and Charlemagne, they actually need a host who is more mature and who is viewing life from a more mature perspective, especially as a woman in her damn 40s. But she has this podcast, Lip Service, and she brings the absolute worst out of every guest. There's nowhere to get the lies, but I know you came here to get the truth. Welcome to the Alphasphere. Welcome to the Alphasphere, the only place on the planet that's totally engulfed in positivity and totally submerged in alpha energy. I'm your host, Dr. BOA. You know, just not too long ago, I posted a video where she was trying to shame Sean Diddy Combs' son for not wanting to deal with a thigh-tastic woman like Laura Harvey.
All right, now, I won't ever date a woman who...
I won't ever date a woman who got too many bodies. Like.
How would you even know?
Right, how would you know?
I mean, if
the streets
on the
is
street,
talking?
if they like,
Okay.
yo, she outside, like, it's like, it's too crazy.
That might make her more experienced, though. She really could put it down.
True.
And these
But
days...
it might not be like, you know what I'm saying? It might not be right.
and when I say date, okay, what about would you sleep with a woman who had a lot of bodies, but maybe not date her?
Nah.
Nothing? But what if you find out after?
I don't want to get in between none of that. If it's after the fact, then it's like, it already happened.
At that point. Streets be lying, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
you can't always listen to the streets.
Your name shouldn't even be in the streets if you were me.
So your name in the streets?
Yeah, your name in the streets.
But his right, not in
that. Hey, we know one in the streets. Can't stop, won't stop.
Then there was another point where she and her co-host Gigi, who is not on this episode, I don't know if they fell out or what, but they were both saying that there are certain bodies that a woman shouldn't count when she's totaling up her bodies.
2 bodies in 1 month.
Is it a lot? I don't think it's a lot if you're a single woman and you're dating, because dating normally means you're dating multiple people. But I will say anything over 2 in the same 30-day time span is overboard.
What if you're getting paid for it? No, I'm kidding. What? I'm just kidding.
Wow. Well, in that case, no. I think more than 2 is overboard. And I would say, because I'm a woman and I have a menstrual cycle, a period, right? So I feel like if it's a period in between, you know, then I hit the reset button. So, you know what I'm saying?
What if it's what if you're
that
single?
makes it more acceptable.
What if you're single and it's like guys from your past? You know, like a couple of exes, because exes don't really count.
Yeah.
Do they?
And that's really what I'm
You
thinking.
already did
Like
it.
maybe it's a current guy and an ex. You know?
I think that no matter what's the situation, more than one without a condom.
We didn't say
Where did that come from?
We didn't say nothing about condoms.
No. I mean, listen, if she takes 10 dicks with a condom, it's okay.
Okay.
If she takes 2 without one, it's too
bad.
many.
Okay, so as long as you're safe.
Yeah.
And that makes sense because when you get the mixing fluids, then that's when that throws up your pH and you're fucking yourself up.
Then you end up with it.
Exactly.
What is that called?
Bacterial.
Trick. Trick is like a disease from having sex with too many people, yeah.
So it don't count
Trichomonas.
if you wear a condom, basically.
Sex never counts when you wear a condom.
Yeah,
I'm joking. Listen, it don't count. It don't count if I don't condom, and it don't count if we use the condom. So.
And last but not least, there's also where her and Jill Scott were in agreement that the whole notion of being a good girl is just not worth it. They would rather deal with the Fantastic Voyage and whatever consequences and repercussions come with that. But they also know that deep down inside, they want the alpha energy of alpha male who's not going to take a woman like that seriously.
And don't be scared of me. If you're scared of me, I will eat you.
Damn, Jill.
Put her in her place.
Damn.
I'm not kidding. So it's no point in me dating someone that's afraid of me because I can walk all over you. And who wants that? Nobody wants that. I'll end up doing that and feel bad about it, and
Then leaving the person and they're crying and
And then you're like, I'm dating a bitch ass, and I don't really,
why?
no respect.
Why?
They forget you from Philly sometimes.
I say it like this: if you can tell me what to do, then you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do.
Damn,
Does
Jill.
that make sense?
I want to tweet that, but it ain't gonna sound the same. They ain't got the cadence. I'm gonna have to capitalize certain parts though.
Now in her latest display of bringing the absolute worst out of her guest, she had young rapper Glorilla on. Glorilla's a young girl, man. She's in her early 20s, just getting to a little bit of money and notoriety and, seemingly enjoying the lifestyle change a little bit. Now, she's recently said that she would go 50-50 with a man, and she don't understand why these women won't go 50-50 with their man. Now, 50-50 is good if you're a man that's in a financial struggling position. You at least want a woman who's willing to contribute when she needs to contribute.
Me personally, I feel like you supposed to go 50-50 with your girl, because if a nigga just get you to the point where like you just feel like you don't gotta do nothing, like he gonna make you lazy and shit. And as a woman, you should want to have your own shit going. You shouldn't want it to be where if a leave you today, he was paying all the bills and now you got this big ass weight on your shoulders. You shouldn't want that. Like, you should be able to like feel like, okay, if you leave, I'm good. If you stay, I'm good. Like, either way, I'm good. Like, and you should want to be a team. Like, the more money y'all make, the more shit get done. Like, if he just buying, if he paying for everything, bitch, don't you want gifts sometimes? Don't you want to buy you sometimes? Like, and don't you want to buy something from him? I just feel like it should be 50-50. Like, it's a team effort.
Again, this is a much younger woman, and the mindset is still similar. She wants to be a team. She wants to be in a position of power. See, what we're hearing from both of these women, from this huge generation gap apart, they both want to be in a position of power. Gone are the times where you're going to find a whole bunch of women who just want to buy into the process of your progress. Gone are those days. Gone. They're gone. There just isn't a bunch of women you're going to find, not in the United States, who simply want to buy into the process of your progress. Now, I will say this. Whole bunch of you motherfuckers ain't got no process of progress. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole bunch of dudes out here ain't got no process of progress. There's dudes out here, man, that don't mind living off a woman. They're perfectly okay with it. They seek out women to live off. They want to live off a woman. There's a bunch of guys out here who you could tell were raised by their mamas, and they want a grown woman to be their mama and take care of them. There's a bunch of them out there. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's a bunch. But even for those of us who aren't like that, it's going to be really tough to find a woman who just simply wants to buy into the process of your progress, and that's all she want to do.
And then, like, you're supposed to be able to bring something to the table. Like, I don't understand.
Now, when you hear her, she sounds like a girl who's headed in the right direction. You know, at least more than we would expect her to be. But in this episode of Lip Service with Angela Yee, she exposes something that isn't a bad thing behind closed doors. But the problem is, Angela Yee causes people to expose things about themselves that aren't left behind closed doors like they should be.
Like what? We need examples. Ooh, we need one example, please.
Yeah, tell us, like, what?
Teach us.
Corny. Now we want to hear it.
I want to hear corny and nasty.
Because I want to see if it really is nasty. Let's see.
I want to see if I tried it.
Me too.
Okay, so y'all do drink no, right?
Yeah, everybody swallow.
Okay,
we just say swallow. Drink sound
like,
nasty.
Like, same thing. It's just so corny to me. Oh my God. Boy, it's like
Uh-oh.
I'm scared.
It's so weird. But okay, same thing, we just got done eating, right? Don't worry about it.
No, just tell us. You too far in now.
This is, yeah.
Alright, so same thing, we just got done eating, then we got right after. And some food, and I'm gonna still eat it. So if you been knowing, like, my food, I'm gonna eat.
It's like dressing.
Which I say again, isn't wrong. I think my bros would do the same thing if we wanted to get down like that. But it's the fact that she didn't want to talk about it. And Angela Yee and these chicks around her practically begged it out of her, poured it out of her, lured it out of her. They convinced her that she might as well go ahead and do it. And this is a young girl who is easily influenced by these older wallbanger women. The problem is, this is an example of the elderly Jezebel influence on young women. And when a woman has embraced that lifestyle and embraced that outlook, she doesn't care how many lives she ruined. She doesn't care how that affects a young woman. She doesn't care how that puts a young woman in a certain frame of mind that will have her viewed in a way that she doesn't really want to be viewed. Because let's be honest, Glorilla isn't always going to be at the top of the charts. Let's just be honest about that. She's going to be in a situation where she's going to need someone to give her some serious consideration to be in a position in their life that a woman truly wants to be in. And she's still young. Young women have to understand you cannot follow these older scallywags. They don't have a dog in the race of you being received and accepted as something positive in a man's life. That ship has sailed for them. Nobody's ever going to look at Angela Yee. Nobody who's worth anything is going to look at Angela Yee and say, I want you to be my wife. Also, these other women on here, nobody's going to look at them and say, I want you to be my wife. And if either one of them is married right now, there's a man who's a beta male at home, because there is no woman of mine that's finna be sitting up talking about this type of stuff publicly. It's just not going to happen. So when you think about it, here's a woman who has made it her business to try to coerce every single young guest she has to display things, discover things, and relay things that are always going to be out there. Because once you put it on social media, it's there forever. The funny thing about this is, if you noticed, when Glorilla said this, man, she just laughed. I mean, she cracked up laughing. These other women didn't. Why? Because they are making fun of this young girl simply for being young, dumb, and full of. So shout out to Envy and Charlamagne for being able to move forward without the conscious burden, the moral burden, the spiritual burden of having a woman around whose greatest form of entertainment for herself and that she gives the world is to perpetuate the Jezebel spirit and draw things out of people that should stay in those people. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.